After 1 year of making YouTube videos and 5 years of thinking about making them, here's my top 5 things I learned in the process. Number 1, no one cares about YouTube videos. I was afraid to upload over 5 years, maybe even pushing up to 7. I was afraid of other people's opinions, what people would say about me, which is just absolutely nuts really. I don't know what happened after procrastinating for 3 weeks, but finally managed to press the upload button on the very first video. Nothing actually happened, which is a surprise. Think about I've got 0 subscribers and the video being really bad. Even after telling some friends about it, people A, didn't care, or 2, were very supportive about it. We have to understand this, everybody lives in their own little world and everyone's dealing with their own problems. Thinking that everybody will focus on you is just incredibly selfish. Let's have a look at an example where you're walking down the street and you see somebody trip up, and you might laugh, or you might smile, or you might not even care. And then, but you know what, after 5 seconds of thinking about it, you'll go back to thinking about your own little problems. It's the same for everybody else. Everybody will watch your videos right at the very start, so breathe out and relax. 99% of the fear will literally vanish as soon as you upload your very first video. This is crazy to think about, especially if you've never uploaded before. After being afraid to press publish in the very first video and you finally doing it, you'll be sitting there thinking, is this everything I was afraid of? What do you think was going to happen really? Do you think somebody's going to jump out of your laptop, your computer and slap you for having uploaded a really shit video? No, literally nobody cares. So just sit down, just say something and press upload. All these kind of fears are incredibly irrational. So let's take it back a couple of years. When I spoke to somebody about uploading YouTube videos, my hands would literally shake. Do you know how crazy that is? And then coming back to a point, nobody gives a shit. That's very liberating to think about. Number 3, make it frictionless. When things are easy to get done, we're more likely to do them. When things are easy, we're more consistent with being able to stick to the habits, and we're more likely to succeed as a result of it. So success equates to making things easy, especially at the start. And here's a good quote in this stage of the process. Complexity is the enemy of execution. How can you reduce this friction? Firstly, we want to identify the 2 types of friction. So there's emotional friction and there's environmental friction. So emotional friction is the stuff I mentioned in the previous points, just being afraid to upload, imposter syndrome, spotlight effect, procrastination, caring about what people think, etc, etc, etc. And environmental friction being as like, oh, the setup is incredibly difficult to set up, oh, the editing software takes forever to load, and how can you reduce both of them? And the emotional friction we kind of spoke about in 2 previous points, but in terms of environmental friction, basically, again, just make incredibly easy. At the start, forget about all the expensive equipment, literally just sit down, put your phone against some bookshelves, against the wall, just press record, and just talk about anything. It doesn't really matter what. Maybe about why you want to start YouTube or something you're passionate about, etc. Over time, you'll start to add to the complexity. Maybe get a tripod for your camera, then you might get an external microphone, which is one of the first things to really think about. There was quite a few times and I was just incredibly lazy to film because I was just procrastinating about it. What it came down to, it took forever for me to actually set up. So what I used to do is I would get this mic stand, I would set it up so it's just out of the shot. As nice as it was, there were 2 problems with this. Number 1, it would take about 10 minutes for me to set up. Okay, 10 minutes, you wouldn't really think that's much, but that was enough for me to say, well, oh, I can't be able to upload, which is quite big. And secondly, I really didn't like the audio. So one time I just annoyed. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't really care about a microphone being up there. I'm just gonna have it in the shot. I don't care. Let's see what happens. And what I noticed, A, it doesn't really matter, and B, the audio is 10 times better. So you can sit through bad audio. The chances are you're going to click off the video and go to the next one. Okay, number 4, your first 100 videos. Thinking that you're going to make incredible YouTube videos with absolutely no prior experience is just absolutely crazy. Your first 50 to even 100 videos will be trash. Embrace it and enjoy the learning process. Okay, another thing, stop comparing yourself to people who've been doing this thing for 5, 10 plus years. People have been putting like thousands of hours of effort into this pursuit, and now you think that magically you're going to make these kind of videos. Of course you won't. Have a look at their very first videos and you'll realize they weren't very good either. It's through the process of them constantly uploading, constantly refining, making each video better by 1% at a time. That's how they got to where they're at now. There's a bunch of fundamental skills you learn by simply putting the reps in and getting better over time. So things like speaking to a camera, editing, figuring out lighting, figuring out different setups. During this time, here's the mantra you need to stick by. Stop trying to make videos that you're proud of. Instead, be proud that you made a video. For example, even look at myself. Last year, the videos I was making were a bit horrible really, but now they're definitely so much better. And in like 4 to 5 years down the line, I'm gonna look back at these videos and be like, did I actually think these videos are good? So we're constantly evolving, constantly progressing. And number 5, 1% improvements are king. seemingly significant improvements, when done consistently over time, yields staggering results. If you're making first 100 videos, just focus on improving each video by 1%. It could be just as simple as learning the basics of video editing. It could be maybe adding a certain transition, maybe adding background music, maybe speaking directly into the camera, maybe adding a microphone. It could literally be anything. But as long as every video you improve just one little bit, after those 100 videos, you'd be exponentially better than where you started. Here's a good Chinese saying, whether it was Chinese or it was from somewhere else, I don't know, but the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. Second best time is now. And the thing about that is, okay, you don't want to be in a position where a year passes, maybe 2 years pass, and you look back and you'd be like, well, I wished I would have started a year or two ago. Imagine how much progress I would have made by now. Don't be this kind of person. Literally just start now and your future self will thank you later. Bonus point, the power of accountability. The journey is 10 times, 100 times more easier and a lot more fun when you have other people in the same boat as you. There's this really cool community which I'm incredibly grateful for, which helped me get past this hurdle of uploading YouTube videos, which is Part-Time YouTube Academy, which is Ali Abdul's course. I actually made a video about it right here, about my biggest takeaways from it for a beginner. So you should go check it out.